The New York Knicks are on a current 8-game winning streak with two stars playing at a superstar level, JRey, and Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. I thought Brunson was going to be good going into this year. I didn't think he'd be all NBA good. And Julius Randle,
Mhm.
Justin, versus the Heat 2 nights ago, hit a game winner to cap a 43-point performance that we haven't seen since early last year. I want to get your takeaway with this Knicks team. Right, it's been an amazing year for those two stars, but how can Randall actually build off of this and keep this level of play up in the postseason? Where currently you guys are. This is a really interesting matchup because of Tom Thibodeau's defensive preferences and the team at hand. You're currently on track to play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the playoffs.
Bring them on.
First off, Justin, lucky ass shot. Go ahead.
Say what you want, bro.
And it's not what I want. It's a fact, and you can't disagree with that. You know it was lucky. He wouldn't have made that shot again even if he wanted to. Get out of here. Go
The
ahead.
refs were outside all game. First off, you guys were lucky enough to even make that comeback. Refs were giving you a lot of calls. But anyways.
You want to talk about blowing calls? What about Tyler Hero stepping out of bounds? He ain't step out.
You should not even be complaining about calls because of half of the things that went your way in that game. But John, on your point, Julius Randle is a better player today than he was in 2021. And that's saying a lot because he had an all-pro season that year. I think going into the postseason, him not really having to shoulder the load or feel that pressure of being the guy, because you have a guy like Jalen Brunson, and while RJ still gets crap from people, he's a better player than what he was in 2021 also. IQ is probably, in my opinion, the sixth man of the year this year. I know a lot of people want to argue about Malcolm Brogdon, but the only award he's getting is the most missed man of the year. But I'm telling you, guys like IQ, OB, Hartenstein playing inspired basketball, us getting Mitch Robinson back in the fold, I think we're way better than what we were in 2021. So what we need out of Randall come the postseason, no, we don't need 40-point games, but it would be nice, absolutely, if he can do it as efficiently as he did against Miami. But that's one big night. When this team is playing together, and that's what makes this Knicks team, so I feel, going up against a Cleveland, going up against a potential Philadelphia team, if we get lucky enough to get to the second round of the playoffs, is we have depth that can compete. In this 8-game win streak, it hasn't always just been stars showing out. No, it's guys like IQ stepping up to the plate. It's the depth on this team that is making us so special, that has made us so dangerous. And we have the second win streak in the NBA behind Milwaukee right now, and that is not by an accident. I think this team is so different from 2021 because they're not just playing with Tom Thibodeau as their head coach. They're playing for him now. And I think you can really see that. Just that little highlight of Jalen Brunson walking to the bench and said something to Tom Thibodeau, and you see them smile, fist bump. Things are feeling good. Julius Randle said it. They love each other. And I'm not trying to, make it seem like it's all sunshine and rainbows, but yeah, the team loves each other and playing in spot because they're with each other. And I think it's very evident when you watch them on the court each day now. It's so weird to say this as a Knicks fan, but every single game that I watch, I believe we have a chance to win. We're a way better team than what people actually think.
Currently the best winning streak in the NBA. The Bucks last night took an L.
Oh, Bucks took an L. Knicks got to keep it up. We got a big matchup in Boston tonight. We got to keep this train rolling. Listen, I'm sure we're not gonna. The streak is gonna end at some point, but as long as we can play good basketball, I'm telling you guys, the Knicks are the laughing stock of the league, and rightfully so, for very long. Anybody saying that they're just gonna get ousted in the first round the way that they did against Atlanta 2 years ago, there'll be a much more of a fight out of this group than that last. I can assure you of that.
Listen, I'll just say what I told you, all right? The sun shined on you that night. And that's fine. It shines on everybody every certain night. And it just happened to be your guys' night, which is fine. Right? But pride cometh before the fall, Justin. I'll leave it at that.
You know,
Man, that
one
loss
my
really
biggest.
took a toll on him.
Huh?
What happened, John?
That loss really took a toll on you, Brennan, huh? Because they've got 7 other nights where the sun shined on them pretty brightly.
Didn't take a toll.
I don't know. Those little games add up by the playoffs, or by the playoffs. And if my memory serves, the Knicks are a higher seed right now than the Heat. And it doesn't seem like the Heat are trending upwards. While the Knicks, they keep getting better and better with a younger and younger team with, let's be honest, no bad contracts on either that are inhibiting their current salary structure, too.
Or you mean a contract that you liked when they signed it?
Pat Riley still doing the Knicks favors 20 years later.
Yep. Yeah. Switch up is real.
You know, my biggest concern about the Knicks going into the postseason is our second half struggles. We can't have a 17-point lead and blow it the way that we have. I feel like with all the games that we've blown this year, double digits, if you wipe away maybe 4 or 5 of them, we're the 3 seed.
All right.
You know what?
I'm done. I'm done with the hype up, bro. Okay. Congratulations. Give you a little round
Is that
of applause.
not true?
A fortune cookie. You want a fortune cookie? You guys have done really well this year, right? Really well. But let's not blow this out of proportion. Okay. You guys at best might get out of the first round. Might. All right. You're hoping that Philly doesn't drop a couple games and they're the 4th seed, because then you're definitely getting bounced in the first round. All right, you're hoping that Cleveland stays in that 4 seed so you can have Cleveland, because I think you guys can make that a tough series. I think it goes 7. I think Cleveland wins, but I think it goes 7. So let's just not stop it. All right, you guys are.
What did I say that was so bad?
No, because you just kept going to continue. And I thought about the tweets and the texts you sent me, and I just kind of got sick and tired of it. Goddamn sick and tired of it. Because listen, I'm not gonna be here, Miami Heat fan, and blow smoke up my own team's ass. I have stated many of times in the past that if we don't make a move for a Donovan Mitchell, we are stuck and we are going to get left in the past. So I have eyeballs and I can see in the future of what my team possibly could be and how it could be bad. I understand that. But you Knicks fans, man, you're sick. I'm sick of it. You guys have no future either. There's no star or superstar in the horizon for you guys coming up.
What have you been watching? In the year of 2023, Jalen Brunson is one of the 3 best guards in the sport.
Jalen Brunson is a number 1 on a championship team.
Last year, he was number 2
on a team
went to the conference finals, and he's gotten a lot better since then.
Oh, I'm asking you a question. Is Jalen Brunson a number 1 on a championship team? I'm genuinely curious. I want an answer from both of you guys. Is he a number 1? Comparing him to a Giannis, a Jason Tatum, an Embiid, who hasn't even gotten to one. Jokic, who hasn't even gotten to one. Steph, Kawhi, LeBron. You want me to keep going? Is Jalen Brunson is that type of dude, is what you're saying to me.
Look where the Knicks stand in the seedings.
I'm asking you a direct question. I'm asking you and Justin. I know Mr. Politician over here won't give me direct answer because he knows the answer. Let's see if the Knicks fan is objective enough. What's the answer to that question? Is Jalen Brunson a number 1 on a championship team, Justin?
I don't believe we're a championship team. So I'm not. No, he's not. I still believe we're probably another star away. No, I'm not gonna say he can be the number 1.
Then honestly, I ask you this.
Shit, you know what? Let me take that back. He can be. Why not?
He's been a superstar over the last month. Listen to this, Brandon. Over Jalen Brunson's last 14 games, he's shooting 55%.
Great numbers.
Getting the foul line 8 times a night, and there is not a more dynamic guard in the Eastern Conference currently.
Putting up great numbers. Not denying that. Never came out of my mouth. We're splitting hairs here, guys. This is what we're doing. This is what we do. Okay, we split hairs when we talk about elite. If you want that in your name, in the name with the other elite players, this is what we do. We split hairs. Okay, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being very kind. He is doing great things right now. He's having a great season. It's arguable. Let's just be honest. It's arguable right now. There are probably Knicks fans out there that believe. There are Knicks fans out there that probably believe that Julius Randle is the best player on the Knicks. There are. So he's still battling to see if he's the best player on his own team. And the question I was going to ask was to follow up, because Justin said he can be, screw it, he can be a number one on championship team. You need another star. Are you bringing in a guy who's not as good as Jalen Brunson? Are you looking to bring in a guy who's better than Jalen Brunson? You're looking to bring in a guy who's better than Jalen Brunson. And that's what I've been saying, is that, are there any of those guys out there in the horizon coming to you? No. So when we're splitting hairs and we're saying, I'm literally asking you a direct question. Is you're saying Jalen Brunson can be a number one on championship team. So you believe that Jalen Brunson can be up there in the names of a Giannis, a Jason Tatum who hasn't won one yet, an Embiid who hasn't gotten there, Jokic who hasn't gotten there, LeBron, Steph, Kawhi, all these guys. That's what you're saying to me.
No, I don't believe that Jalen Brunson can be on the level of a Giannis Antetokounmpo, because nobody fucking is.
That's not what I said. Don't take words out of my mouth.
Jalen Brunson doesn't need to be.
For his name to be a number one on a championship team, your name has to be up there with those guys. Not the same impact, not the same level, but you have to be up there. Your name has to be up there with those guys.
I think part of your lack of respect for the Knicks stems from your big picture thinking, where you don't acknowledge basketball is about taking steps forward. Not everybody can be the Miami Heat where you go from missing the playoffs to the finals in a matter of a year signing Jimmy Butler. Jalen Brunson has been nothing more than he's been nothing less than a superstar over the last couple of months. And nobody expected that. The Mavericks didn't know his worth. A year ago, he was getting a $55 million extension over 4 years, barely more in the mid-level exception. And today, I mean, he has been getting better and better, and he's 26 years old. So for the Knicks, that's true. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, they're going to take you only so far, right? In a conference that has Giannis, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, better teams, right? The Knicks can't beat the Bucks, and they're probably not in a playoff series going to beat the Celtics, right? But with how well Brunson is playing, when he already beat Donovan Mitchell last year in 2 playoff games out of 3, he is the best player in this Knicks team. He's shown he can perform in the playoffs at an elite level, and what's so special is that he's just now getting the opportunity. A lot of Knicks fans a year ago, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, were disappointed that they signed him. Jalen Brunson was a consolation prize, Brandon. Julius Randle was also a consolation prize 3 years ago. Listen to this. The Knicks starting lineup on March 4th, 2019 was maybe the worst you will ever see. And there were some pretty bad ones. So we had Dennis Smith Jr. at point guard, Damian Dotson at the 2, Kevin Knox and Noah Vonleh at the forward spots, Luke Cornett at center to go alongside Alonzo Trier, Emmanuel Mudiay, a rookie Mitchell Robinson, Henry Ellingson, and Lance Thomas off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've first off, I actually liked Alonzo Trier a little bit. He had a good stretch there where he played pretty well. But I get your point. They have come far. I didn't argue that. I've said multiple times on the show that I like the base that they're building. They're building a good base. But what I've also said, yes, my big picture is I'm always looking into the future, because that's what the executives have to do. This is a business. We're trying to succeed for the future. So I have to look at my assets now and analyze them, what they can be in the future, and what other assets I can bring into the future. So I have to be aware of everything around me. So sorry if I'm big picturing you, but it's very important to do this. All right. And what I'm doing is, there's nobody on the horizon for the Knicks. So you have this, what I'm saying is, you have this good fundamental base. You have it. You're doing good. You're starting to walk, right? You're starting to speed walk a little bit. You're doing good. You're taking good steps up. But now you want to take that leap. Now you want to start running. Now you want to start jumping. You want to start climbing, flying. Where's that person that's going to take you there? And that's why I asked you, is Jalen Brunson that guy? And so, yes, his name has to be put into that conversation with those guys I named if he wants to be a number one on a championship team, because that's just what it is. That's the facts of sports. That's what we have to live with. So I don't make the rules, all right? I just follow them as they are. So I asked you that to be legit curious. And I think we all understand. I don't think that he can be a number one on a championship team. Justin, I don't know if you said, screw it. He can be a number one on a championship team. And what I was going to ask you is, well, you said they need to bring in another star. I'll ask you, do you think that star they bring in is going to be better or worse than Jalen Brunson? You would want it to be better, wouldn't you? Do you think
it's a matter of fit. It's a matter of can they complement each other? So, huh?
All right, so let's ask this, because John called him a superstar, which is just you're throwing superstar around. Please don't stop throwing superstar around like that. Okay, he's done we can compliment him and give him his respect, but can we stop throwing around superstar like that? It's kind of like the GOAT, elite, and all that. Let's stop throwing superstar around. You could say he's played very great, very well. All these other words you could use. You don't have to use superstar.
Those you want to know what it's been, Brandon, for me?
Go ahead.
It's been the steady progression from good to pretty good to really good to special, and now he's ascended to a level of the best guard in the Eastern Conference. He's outplayed Trae Young. He's been better on both sides of the floor. He's been better than Tyrese Halliburton. All of these players we've looked at as better players, Jalen Brunson outperformed in a less than ideal circumstance. Let's not forget what RJ Barrett's doing right now. Great stuff.
I mean, I'm not going to. I mean, first off, the Eastern Conference point guards are pretty weak. I think we can all admit that. The talent is mostly in the West.
You know what's my biggest thing with my baby. One of the biggest things with Jalen Brunson and the Knicks in general. I'm not gonna jump the gun and like John says, call him a superstar, because this is 1 year where he's really a leader on this team. We've had guys like Amari Stoudemire come in, light the world on fire in his first year, and that was it. We didn't see that same impact. Julius Randle, after his first year with the Knicks, did not look too great. After his All-Pro season, it went downhill, and people wanted us to trade him, some of you guys included. So I'm not getting my hopes up. I would like to see this be sustainable. Jalen Brunson is absolutely killing it this year. I want to see it next year as well, because I've seen on Nick's conversation Twitter is best New York signing since whom, and people were comparing it to CC Sabathia and the Yankees in 2009. Doesn't match up yet. Until we win a ring, until we find that other person to complement our team that can maybe take RJ's spot, because RJ has proven to be a little bit lazy on defense sometimes. Like he's a little spotty when it comes to shooting, inconsistencies. So once we find a guy that can fill that spot, I really believe that we really make a run, especially with the Eastern Conference being as vulnerable as it is.
It's open. Yeah.
I could see it in a year.
I want to comment before I lose my train of thought. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave you with this. You said, like, you've seen it this year and you want to see it next year too. I think we all got to remember this is the regular season. We're about to end the regular season. We have to see it in the playoffs again. I know he performed last year, but that was as a number 2. Now you're the guy. You're the number
really
1.
I didn't know that Luke could play in the first 3 games in that Utah series where he dropped 41 and then 31 points versus Rudy Gobert, who should have been the regular season defensive player of the year. I didn't know that.